मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So I welcome all of you to our weekly online class on Bhagavad Gita. After a long time, we are again coming together for this weekly class. So last week I was in Vrindavan. Because of that, I couldn't take the class. So sorry for that. So we'll continue again our Bhagavad Gita chapter 2nd. So right now we are in chapter 2nd and we are discussing the qualities of a Sthita Prajna person. So what are the quality? Krishna is in detail, Krishna is explaining here the quality of a Sthita Prajna person. So let's try to revise. We have already seen two questions of Arjuna, that how does a person, first question was what are the quality of a Sthita Prajna? That was the question one. Second question, how he speak. How he speak means how he react to situations where there are dualities of life, just like in happiness and in the sorrow, how the person react. So that was the second question. So Krishna tells that in both the situation, that person maintains his equilibrium. It doesn't get panic. It doesn't get excited in happiness, or it doesn't get frustrated in sorrow. He just composes himself and he balances him in both the situation. That was the second question. And the third question Arjuna asks, how does he sit? कैसे वो बैठता है? That was the third question. So the meaning of this question is that how does a person sit? Sit means what? Person will sit at one place, right? Generally, when a person sit at one place, he is inactive. He doesn't become so active, right? Unresponsive to the external surrounding. That means how that person is not responsive to the sense object. When a sense object comes to the senses, how that person doesn't respond to the sense object. That is the meaning of the question. How does he sit? And this is answered in the verse 2.58. From 2.58 to 63 verse, these verses answer the question number third. Let's try to recite the verse number 2.58. I'm just sharing my screen. Those who doesn't have the book can see the verse. 2.58. Yada samaharate chayam kurmangani vasarvasaha indriyarthebhyas tasya prajna pratisthitah. Okay, so here let's try to understand what Krishna is telling. Krishna is giving an analogy. With an analogy, Krishna is explaining how that person is not responsive to the sense object. Yada, just like Yada samaharate chayam. Samaharate means what? Withdrawing. What is the example? Kurma. Kurma means tortoise. If you have observed a tortoise, the moment the tortoise feels any kind of sensation or any kind of a threat, immediately the tortoise withdraws his legs, right, and the head inside the body. Right? Kurmanganiva sarvasa. Anga means the limbs of the tortoise. The tortoise withdraws all the limbs inside the body. So Krishna is giving this analogy just to explain the concept that a self-realized person, similarly, whenever he sees that any Bollywood song is coming, immediately close the ears because he is not supposed to hear this kind of song, right? And some kirtan song is coming, immediately he opens his ears. So I'm just explaining, just to imagine how a devotee respond to the sense object. So this is how a devotee see. If this is a place where there are prajalpa is happening, non-Krishna conscious activities happening, automatically the devotee goes away from that place and he avoids such kind of place. And automatically the devotee situate himself in that place where Krishna conscious activities happens. So he gives the example of tortoise. Indriya arthabhya. So the senses, Indriya means the senses, Indriya arthe. Indriya artha means, what is the artha? Artha means money, right? What is the money for the senses? The sense object. Everybody runs, sabse bada hai rupaya. Everybody runs after the wealth, right? So the greatest wealth for the senses is sense object. For the eye, the wealth is form. For the ear, the wealth is music. For the nose, the wealth is the smell. And for the tongue, the wealth is Mahaprasade Govinde. So like that way, the senses are getting attracted to the sense object. But Krishna is telling the tasya prajna pratishtita, the person, if that person is situated in prajna pratishtita, that means he is in samadhi, self-realized devotee, who has full control over his senses. Wherever he will allow the senses, there only the senses will go towards the sense object. Otherwise, he has a full control over the sense. That is the main concept in 2.58 Krishna is explaining. And then Prabhupada is telling that actually it is very tough to control the senses. But if you want to really control the senses, there is a very nice way. What is that way? You want to know the way how to control the senses? So Prabhupada is just writing that just engage the senses in Krishna conscious activity. Then automatically the senses will not think about sense gratification. This is a simple formula Prabhupada is giving in the purport. And then we'll go to the verse number 2.59. Okay, 2.59, very interesting verse. 2.59, now Krishna is going. Now Krishna in the first verse gave an analogy that how to control the senses, but actually the tortoise pulls the limb inside. But how can one do? That is very easy to see from a tortoise perspective. But Prabhuji, the moment something comes before me, I can't control my senses. I eat the gulab jamun. I see the movie. What to do? So exactly the solution Krishna is giving in 2.59. So let's try to recite the verse 2.59. Very interesting verse where Krishna is giving the solution for how to control the senses. 2.59. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So this is one of my favorite verse and very hope-giving verse and very practical verse. So let's try to understand this formula, the principle, very applicable and you can apply in our day-to-day life. Visaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. Dehina, the body. Okay, Dehina, the body. Nira ahara. Ahara means what? Food. Nira ahara. Suppose you fell sick. You are suffering from fever. And since last 2-3 days, you are not eating anything. Okay. Nira ahara dehi. And you can imagine when you are feverish and you are not eaten for 3-4 days, how you feel that time? कोई आपके पास लेके आता है, हे गुलाब जामुन खा ले यार, अरे यार कुछ खाने का इच्छा नहीं होता है. You feel like vomiting, right? In a feverish time, you don't like anything to eat. Hey, if some good item people just show you, by seeing only you feel disgusted. अरे खाने का कुछ इच्छा नहीं. Why it happens? That because of the feverish mentality, your senses are averse to the sense object, and you don't feel to eat anything. So that's what Krishna is telling. Vishaya vinivartante. From the Vishaya means from the sense object. Vinivartante. The senses are stops to take the sense object. Why? Because of nira aharasya dehina, because you have not eaten anything. The body doesn't have any energy to sense gratification. So just see, if you are fasting for 2-3 days, just for imagine for one day, if you are doing a nirjala fast for one day, just imagine कुछ enjoyment करने को इच्छा भी नहीं होता है. Automatically doesn't come an enjoyment tendency. Why? Because there is no energy, vitality in the senses. But condition apply. Krishna is telling the third line, Rasavarjam. Rasavarjam means the desire to enjoy doesn't go. Although the body doesn't support to enjoy, but the desire to enjoy, that desire is there in the mind. And what is the proof? As soon as his fever get well, immediately start eating everything. Yes or no? As soon as his fever is gone and he's feeling healthy, gulab jamun, rasmalai, everything start eating, enjoying like anything. So for a temporary phase of time, the desire was there, but the body was not supporting. So Krishna is telling Rasovarjam, the taste was there, but the body was not supporting. So what is the solution? And then in the fourth line, Krishna is giving the solution. So what is the solution? Krishna is Rasopyasya param drishtva nivartante. Krishna is telling that if we will give him param drishtva, a higher taste, nivartante, then only the senses will withdraw the sense object. Only one solution is that just give them a higher taste. So always I give this example. Suppose somebody is eating in sweet, there are varieties of sweets. So a cheap quality sweet is called sukudi. It is made with atta and gur. Very cheap quality sweet. Sukudi. Somebody is eating a sukudi, right? Made with atta, flour and gur, jaggery. And suppose somebody is giving you a rasmalai or gulab jamun, whatever favorite sweet you may, just think about that favorite sweet. Immediately what that person will do, automatically he will throw the sukudi and he will start eating the rasmalai. Why? Because the taste of the rasmalai is higher. Similarly, Krishna is telling the material sense gratification is a lower taste. But the spiritual sense gratification is a higher taste. And when a person starts experiencing the spiritual sense gratification, then automatically he gives the lower sense gratification, the material sense gratification. That is how our ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada has introduced ISKCON bullets in the 1965 when he was preaching in the New York. All the hippies, they used to sit in the room, and in the entrance, the Prabhupada has to keep a glass, a big jar filled with gulab jamuns. And all the hippies, whoever is to enter the classroom, they used to put one gulab jamun inside and got fully intoxicated, and they used to sit in that class. And just imagine these hippies, They were totally intoxicated with the LSD, drugs, alcohol, cigarette, all kind of intoxication they used to do, all kind of illicit sex they used to do. But just by this gulab jamuns, right, they got fully drunk. That was the power of ISKCON bullet. Can you imagine? So Prabhupada used to always tell that this ISKCON bullet has changed so many devotees' life. Eh? And that is called the higher taste. So when you get a higher taste, then automatically the lower taste goes away from the life. And all can relate in our day-to-day life when we get connected to ISKCON. So many devotees I discussed with them, they tell that, Prabhuji, oh prasad kya tha Prabhuji. The moment I first tasted the prasad, it was totally different. And just by gradually eating the Krishna prasadam, automatically people forget their non-vegetarian food, they forget all kind of different things. In this way, this Krishna prasadam is very powerful, and this is what Krishna is recommending, that higher taste. And I'm just telling one perspective, the prasadam. For somebody, it may be kirtan. There are so many devotees, they say that, Prabhuji, the first time I heard the kirtan, the chanting of Hare Krishna in the temple, I just forgot everything and I was fully absorbed in Krishna. So in this way, for somebody, it may be the darshan of the deities, Radha Krishna deities, and for somebody, it may be hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class. So for different people, the Param Drishta Nivartante may be different. I remember one person who was telling me that the first time I entered ISKCON temple, I saw that the deities were greeted with such a nice agarbatis, and I was just smelling the incense sticks. And just by smelling the incense stick, he was so attracted to ISKCON temple, and he started coming regularly. So I said, my God, I have never thought that devotee will be attracted in this way also. And one devotee was telling that, Prabhuji, when I first entered ISKCON temple, they were blowing the conch shells. And when I heard the blowing of the conch shells, it's like shattered my heart, and all the anarthas, they were shattered here and there. And I just attracted to the temple. So like that way, the Param Drishta Nivartante is how the devotee get attracted to Krishna. And when that higher taste comes, then automatically the lower taste of sense gratification related with this material body, that goes away. And this is very important. Sloka Krishna tells in this verse 2.59. And 2.59, and then Prabhupada was telling in the purport, Prabhupada was telling that just by practicing this Krishna consciousness devotional service, there are so many varieties of limbs in the devotional service. Just like Baba was telling, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So many things are there. And whatever you feel like you are connected with that limb, you can just grab that. And by that higher taste, you can go to the next stage. So that is how very devotional service is very practical, Prabhupada is telling. So let's then the verse number 2.60 will recite. In the verse 2.60, Krishna is telling that such a person who practices this Krishna consciousness is very rare in this material world. It is very rare to see such a person. So 2.60 will recite the verse. Yatato hi api kaunteya purusasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasavam mana. So here in this verse, Krishna is telling it is not so easy, Baba, to practice Krishna consciousness. Generally, we think, we are practicing, what's so big? Yatato api kaunteya, oh my dear Kunti Putra Arjun, Purusascha vipaschita. Even though that person is a vipaschita means a very wise person, very intellectual person. very wise, intelligent person. Indriyani pramathini. The senses are pramathini. Pramathini means very powerful. Pramathini. And the senses are very powerful. Haranti prasabham mana. And the senses, haranti means they steal. Prasabha mana, the mind. The senses are so strong that the senses can overpower the mind. And that's what Krishna is telling in the verse 2.60, that you can't neglect the senses. The senses are very strong. That if you not engage the senses in Krishna conscious activity, then this eye will tell that I want to see this Bollywood movie. Come on, take me to a theater. So better engage the eye seeing the beautiful form of Radha Vrindavan Bihari. Yeah? Otherwise, it will tell to see the movies. And the ear will tell that I want to hear the new music has released in the Bollywood. Come on, give me that music. So better hear Kirtan of Lord Krishna. And the nose will tell that I want to eat that food. Nice pani puri is coming from that roadside. So better take nice smell of the tulasi and the flower offered to the Lord. And the tongue will try to taste so many food items, different food items. Better eat Krishna prasadam. And with your hand and leg, better go to the temple of Lord, go to the dham of Lord. In this way, we can engage all our senses in Krishna conscious activity. Otherwise, these senses will automatically get attracted to the material enjoyment. So I was hearing in the morning Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada was telling that Goswami means what? Swami means a person who engages his senses 24 hours in Krishna. If for a moment he doesn't engage, that means for that moment, the senses will automatically get attracted to Maya. That is how the material world works, Prabhupada is telling. So it is our responsibility to see how to engage our senses in Krishna conscious activity. Somehow or other, we should be absorbed in Krishna, not mechanically. Are Prabhuji ne bola engage karna, just karo. It's not like that. It means your mind, your intelligence, and your senses all should be in a sync. And it should be absorbed. You should be absorbed in Krishna. That is the goal of human life. Okay, so that is how the 2.60 Krishna is telling. And then in the next shloka, 2.61, Krishna is telling now 2.61 that this engaging the senses in Krishna happens when? So when you surrender yourself to Krishna, that is what 2.61 Krishna is telling. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vasehi yasya indriyani tasya pragya pratishtitaha. So this is like the final conclusion Krishna is giving in this section 2.61, that the conclusion is that Tani Sarvani Samyamya, you can control, you can restrain your all the senses when Yukta Asita Matpara, when it will become Matpara. Matpara means what? You devoted to me, you are surrendered to me. Yeah? जब आप भगवान का शरणागति कर लेते हैं. So when you are surrendered to me, then only it is possible to engage your senses to me. Vasehi yasya indriyani. At that time, you can control your senses. Otherwise, it is not possible, Krishna is telling. Tasya pragya pratishtita. You know that when a person is matpara means when a person becomes devoted to Krishna. When a person becomes devotee of Lord Krishna and he has surrendered his life to Krishna, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Saranam Braja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshamami Ma Sucha. And giving up all kind of rules and regulations, when a person fully dedicated to Lord Krishna, surrender his life and soul to Lord Krishna, then automatically Krishna is telling his senses will be always engaged in my Shravan Kirtan. And that time he will not get attracted to this material sense gratification. Yeah, so automatically this material sense gratification will look like a very tuchha, very insignificant to that person, because he is tasting gulab jamun, he is tasting rasmalai, so he will not run for the sukri. So that's what Krishna is telling. So today we saw in this sequence of verses from the verse number 2.58, 59, 60, 61, these four verses, Krishna is highlighting that how to control the senses. So the main formula Krishna gave in this section is that, so when a person becomes a devotee and he surrenders his life to me, then automatically the senses are engaged in my service. And when the senses are engaged in the spiritual activity, that is like the higher taste. Param drishtva nivartante. Then automatically it doesn't get attracted to the lower taste of this material world. And that is how it's a sustainable way of controlling the senses, because you may restrain the senses from the sense object for some time, but you can't restrain for a long time. There is a tug of war at every moment. So better give the senses a higher taste, then automatically it will not look for the lower taste. So that was the main message of Lord Krishna in the verse 2.58 to verse 2.61 today we saw. Hare Krishna. So I will be ending here and I am opening the forum for your question answer or any comment. You can unmute yourself and you can ask your comment or any questions you have. Hare Krishna. So before, I just wanted to know this. I think these two are sister. B Vishnu Priya, V Krishna Priya. Both are sister?
Yes, Prabhuji.
How may I know how you joined the session today?
Actually, first we used to hear in Insta, Prabhuji, here shorts will come in ISKCON GEV official.
ISKCON?
GEV official.
GV?
Yes, Prabhuji, in Insta.
No, the Eco Village website we are talking about, I suppose. The Govardhan Eco Village.
ISKCON GV Reels you are telling?
Yes, Prabhuji, in that we saw, and then I got this number in YouTube, Prabhuji, in YouTube. So I messaged you to add in the group. You have added.
Welcome to this Gita Paath session. So what you two are doing, where you are situated?
We stay in Hyderabad, Prabhuji. We are connected to Abid's temple, and we now stay in Yadadri, near Yadadri, Bongiri.
Okay. Okay. And what about Vishnu Priya?
Same, Prabhuji.
Both are staying together?
Yes, Prabhuji.
God, and both are watching differently. Okay, nice, nice. What you do?
Just we have completed 10th exams, Prabhuji. We have to.
10th exam completed, vacation time. It's a summer vacation time. Eh? Nice. And what about Vishnu Priya?
Same, Prabhuji. 10th completed.
Acha, both are twin sister, eh?
No, Prabhuji. 1 year difference, but we studied 10th in same year.
Okay, nice. You all chant Hare Krishna mantra?
Yes, Prabhuji. 16.
Are wow. Very nice. Very nice. Very inspiring to see both the sister together. And you both are very sincere. You are reciting all the slokas also. I could see. Thank you for joining today's class. So every Tuesday we have our online classes from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, and systematically we are studying Bhagavad Gita. Right?
Friday, Prabhuji.
Tuesday, only for this Friday we had class, na? Okay, anybody else want to say any comment or any questions? I think Divya ji also joined for the first time.
Yes, Prabhuji, I also joined for the first time because my Siksha Guru's daughters, both of them, Krishnapriya and Krishnapriya, they gave me the link. We already saw it about Prabhuji's lecture. Mataji, you love it. You please come and join here. And let's have an association with Prabhuji also. How they will tell you, please observe and write everything. I'm just noting down, Prabhu, whatever you're saying. It was amazing, Prabhu, how you told the elaboration about 56, 59 and 60 and 58. It was too beautiful. I'm just involving in that, how we are doing. And we are seeing this sense gratification, how we need to stop those things. And today you gave an answer in such a beautiful way. We understood so beautifully, Prabhu. I hope so. Future further also we can have a beautiful association and we can take that nectar from you, Prabhu. Hari Hari.
Thank you, Mataji, for joining the class, and all credit go to Prabhupada, how Prabhupada so beautifully wrote all these slokas. So like that. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Tulika Mataji, any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Hey,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, no question. No question,
No question
Prabhuji.
tired of whole day's work in Ayurveda?
Not tired, Prabhuji. This class makes me again energetic.
Hare Krishna.
But right now, no class.
Yes, any other questions or any comment? Vikas ji, Vishal ji, Sarat ji, Sashi Prakash, all are hiding. Where are others?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if somebody is in a comfortable zone, in his comfort zone, so like, how will he develop the higher taste, or how to develop the higher taste? Because the being in the comfort zone, somebody also can be Krishna conscious also. So how
right now in China or India?
I'm in China.
You're in China. Okay. What happened today? You have not on your camera?
Prabhuji, some problem in the mobile only. I don't know what is the problem going on. I started on TV. I don't know. Nothing was going on.
Okay. See, today I was hearing a lecture. So one devotee was telling that one person may be physically busy whole day doing something for Krishna, doing some physical activity for Krishna. But he told that it is also our service to be absorbed in Krishna. One thing is that doing activity for Krishna. Another thing is that also it is our seva to be absorbed in Krishna. And when I'm telling absorbed in Krishna, it may not be physical activity. It may be sitting at one place. You may be thinking about Krishna. So it is very important. Otherwise, sometimes people do a lot of activity, but end of the day, they feel very dry. That, अरे कुछ मजा नहीं आया क्या हुआ? So when you do an activity, the mind, the intelligence, all has to be in sync. Not that only that you will engage the senses in the activity of Krishna and your mind, you are thinking something else. So, but this is very high in the initial stage, because the initial stage is to control the mind, focus the mind on Krishna. It's not so easy. So we try to engage the senses in the initial stage. But saying that, we should try our level best to bring the mind also in our activity. Then only we will be absorbed in Krishna. And then when the mind is in your control, that time a person may be in comfort zone also, sitting in the AC room at one place, he may be absorbed in Krishna also. So it's not that if you are not doing any physical activity or not doing some rigorous activity, then that means you are not Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness is a matter of your consciousness, and that can be done at any situation, at any time, place, circumstance, being at any place. It's a matter of your Chetana, conscious, like that. And for chanting Hare Krishna, what it needs, just one place and chant, right?
Prabhuji, please, I'm sorry, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I have read in one of the books of Prabhupada that Krishna consciousness is easier. It's easy for people who are in the comfortable situation of life, as in he did specifically mention that people who are struggling on daily level, for the daily survival, for them it's not easy, the Krishna conscious activity, compared to one who are in a comfortable position in the society.
Yes.
If what did he mean then by that exactly?
So if you read in the Bhagavad Gita, only Krishna tells that Artho Artharthi Jigyasu. There Krishna is telling those persons who are Artha, means they need some kind of a monetary benefit. Artharthi, they come to Krishna. Or Artho, those who are troubled by so many material problems, they come to Krishna. So generally, when people are troubled with so many things, they just come to Krishna for some benefit. They can't think about the higher goals of the life. दो वक्त का रोटी नहीं मिल रहा है, what he will think about self-realization? His realization will how to get the bread and butter just to feed the stomach. You're getting the point. So if you are born in a nice family where you are not bothered about your food, about your basic necessities of life, it is a blessing. When you are comfortable, you can think beyond the life. That okay, what about life? What happens after death? How to do self-realization? All these things you can think, and then to practice, it's up to you. But at least you can think, and you have an option to practice. But the person who is struggling for his breakfast and dinner, what he will think? Generally, sometimes when you preach and when you give some food in the road, and when a beggar comes, and when you tell them to chant Hare Krishna, they are not in a mood to chant Hare Krishna. They just ask the food. And if you tell them, they will become frustrated and they chastise sometimes also, because they are not in that situation. So in that sense, Prabhupada is telling that when you are in a comfortable position, when you are in a nice family, you are getting a chance to practice Krishna consciousness very nice. Like that.
Prabhuji, then
Prabhuji,
also,
sorry. No,
please,
you carry on.
you continue. No, Marathi, you can say. It's okay.
I was saying, then what about them who are not in a comfort zone? What about them? How they will practice the Krishna consciousness?
And also Prabhuji, why is it the same? Why is it? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, sorry. Also to add to the question of the Mataji, add on to it, why is it said that, coming out of a comfort zone, only then it will help you grow in life? What is the meaning of that?
Yeah, coming out of comfort zone, that is another thing. You have to understand how the statement is used. Coming out of the comfort zone, it's like now see. Now to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. What is the best time to chant Hare Krishna mantra?
वैसे तो प्रभु जी
Morning.
time but Brahma Muhurta, early morning.
Brahma Muhurta. Mataji is studying Brahma. So Mataji is
All the time, but
temple in the Brahma Muhurta. I come and she is always there and she chants the Hare Krishna mantra. So now to come to temple in the Brahma Muhurta, for that you have to wake up in the early morning, right? And you have to take bath and you have to come. It's little austerity, and especially if it is the December, January, winter season, it is more austere. But this is what Krishna is telling, coming out of the comfort zone. When Prabhupada is telling, when you have to practice Krishna consciousness, you have to come out of your comfort zone. Means you have to come out of your comfort cocoon so that you can practice Krishna consciousness very nicely. You have to wake up early morning. You have to practice your chanting early morning. You have to regulate your food habit. If you eat to the neck and you will sleep in the night, no chance to wake up in the early morning. So you have to control your diet also. So if you want to wake up in the early Brahma Muhurta time. So in that way, coming out of the comfort zone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You mentioned Kartik Mas activities are 1,000 times. Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So those
Prabhuji always looks for the shortcuts.
so those people, no, I'm giving an answer. Those people who cannot afford to go to Vrindavan or Govardhan Hill, then they can do 1 month in their life, 30 days in Kartik Mas, 16 rounds per day, only 30 days. And that's equal to 5 crores. And Brahmaji said in Upanishad that if you do 3.5 crores, you get moksha. So Prabhuji, how can you now? Sometimes other people who like Vishal Guru Prabhuji is saying that you cannot do this and this and so fine, yeah, but you can do 1 round or half round a day. But I mean, keep don't do anything wrong.
Point. Yes.
So, everybody, you don't have to be rich for it.
One thing is that too.
Yeah.
Chanting the mantras, everything, we have to take in the disciplic succession, right? For that, you need a guru, right? When the guru initiates you, then only it starts. So, in our parampara, who is our acharya?
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada is our acharya.
Yes.
So when we get initiation in our parampara through Prabhupada, so we have to follow the instruction of Prabhupada.
Yes.
So Prabhupada has told that every day at least chant 16 rounds. And that is how we chant 16 rounds.
Correct. Yes. Now, that is a problem because Gita said that you have to go through spiritual master, but Upanishad is also saying that you can do this way also. So I don't know what, because it is not easy.
But you have to accept a spiritual master. Even
Yes.
when Krishna comes to this material world, he also accepted Sandipani Muni as a spiritual master. When Lord he also accepted Vishwamitra Muni as a spiritual master. So that is the way of self-realization to get through a parampara.
So then here is my question. Okay, we go to the spiritual master, and the spiritual master says you have to do 16 rounds, correct?
Yeah.
Every day. And if you do only 16 rounds only on a Kartik Mas, then it is not good enough.
Spiritual master, when you take initiation, he will tell that you have to chant on these beats every day without fail 16 rounds.
But my question is, as Vishal Prabhuji said, that those people who are struggling to find job, and work and things like that, how can they do 16 rounds a day? They don't have time to do 16 rounds a day. There should be some.
Can I say something?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji.
Sorry to interfere. I just I'm so curious to give the answer. As here, Vishal Prabhu says that he's in a job, he is not able to do the 16 round. Here I can see the people who, as a grihastha, whether it's a grihastha or brahmacharis, they are working like anything. Whole day they are occupied, they are serving so many things in a larger level, they are serving, still they are chanting 16 round every day. They are practicing their devotional service and their spiritual service each and every day. They are serving the deities as well as serving the society and serving the GV, whoever is coming. So I think for me also, it's my experience. It was like a previous, it was excuse for me also that I am not getting time for chanting. But slowly, starting everything is like a tough. But when it's become our habit, it's easy. It's super easy to chanting 16 round. It's just like now, for me it's becoming easy because from past it's I'm completing in GV 1 year, going to complete next month. So it's becoming very easy. Just a consistency and the focus required, because here it's just an excuse that outside people are working so hard, and because these people are working more harder than the outside people who are doing the 9 to 6 job. I'm sorry, but yes.
No,
Can I-
Mataji, you're absolutely correct. In fact,
Yeah.
I can vouch for one thing 100%. If somebody is ready to wake up in Brahma Muhurat every day, like, be it he be rich or be it, like, any position he be in, it's possible to chant 16 rounds and start your day. I can give this. But जो नहीं उठता है, जो नहीं उठ सकता है ना, like person like me, भाई ठीक है, like, or he has a lot of stories. Like, question खत्म होएगा ना, excuse खत्म होएगा, बस वही comfort zone का लफड़ा है ना, और कुछ नहीं. वो comfort zone का ही game है पूरा.
So that's, you don't want it to get out
That
of
is
the
what-
comfort zone.
So when we are coming together in this online classes discussing, means we should take inspiration from each other. Okay, this devotee is working up in the early morning and he is chanting 16 round, and I'm not able to do. Come on, let me wake up at least 1 hour ahead. So in this way, we should take inspiration. That is what the association of devotee meant.
Exactly. Association is a game. Game is full association.
Yeah.
That is
Now we
also
can see our Tulika Mataji, every day she is waking up in the early morning, coming to the temple. And I see, whenever I come, I see she is chanting 16 round in the temple. So it's very inspiring to see. And if you see his past life, totally 180-degree opposite, but totally now it's.
But yes, yeah, association mattered, because when I go to temple, when I go to get up and see people around me getting, they're also getting up in the early morning, going for the temple chanting, that is matters a lot. 99.9% it is effective. That's helping me, and 1% my efforts.
So I have a question, Prabhuji, from all the younger people. It takes me 2 hours to do 16 rounds. I would like to know how fast you are able to do it. Can anybody answer?
Same here, my also.
2 hours? Okay.
Yeah.
And few those who are chant a little fast, it may take for somebody at minimum 1.5 hours also some chant like that, but 2 hours is average.
2 hours is not easy to absorb in for some people it may be easy, but
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, shall I ask one question? If a person chant in 1 hour 45 minutes, is it a right or is it an offense? Hare Krishna, 16 rounds. They will complete in 1 hour 45 minutes.
Okay, Mataji, it's okay. I have seen people completed in 1 hour 30 minutes also. So it's the main thing is that when we chant, we should hear the sound vibration. That is the main thing while chanting. That should not be compromised while chanting.
So can I ask one more question
Yes.
in this matter?
Yeah.
Will the spiritual master agree on it or not? That if you put a phone in your pocket and put these earplugs on it, and while you're working and you're listening the chanting, is that okay or not okay? Not okay?
That is nice that you are hearing chanting.
Yes.
That is very, but
2
that is
hours.
not alternate to chanting.
Okay. I just
Chanting-
want to.
Chant and hear. We have to
Okay.
chant.
Okay. Just want to see.
Go shortcut in the life.
No, allow.
Have to do it. It's not so easy to go back to God.
So okay, then one more question, a separate question. You went to Vrindavan with 150 people last week, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of people. So my question is, you followed the same procedure like they did last time? Those 3-day procedures you had?
No. I followed the same itinerary, but these people were a lot of people, 150 people. So all the places we couldn't cover, because to go to one place used to take a lot of time. So we followed the same schedule, but the number of places we visited less because people were more.
And
So it
you went to Govardhan. You went to Govardhan, Prabhuji, right?
Parikrama also.
And you came by train or went by train? Wow. 150 in the train? That's a lot of people.
And all these are the local villagers. Those who are for the labor work.
How many people can come in a train? Can 150 people come in a train?
Prabhu, next month we are going to Ayodhya, Kasi, Prayagraj. 450 people.
In one train?
Yes.
Oh, I never traveled in train about 50 years, so I don't know.
Prabhuji, one bogie of a train has 75 seats.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, I never sat in a train in 45 years, so I don't know.
Prabhuji, welcome to India. In fact, I'm talking about the second compartment. In the what do you call general compartment? We can fit up around 300 people in one compartment.
Oh, one compartment. Oh my goodness.
I would suggest the best. I would suggest, Prabhuji, the best is that first you have a ride in the local trains of Mumbai, and then that will tune you very well to. Then you will say that 70 to 75 is nothing, kuch bhi nahi hai, no crowd at all.
No, then you
Just
cannot
try once.
you don't need to take efforts to get in and get out in local train.
Yes.
Don't
No,
worry.
you will be fully trained, and then you will feel 74 or 72 is not a crowd at all. It was so comfortable.
Prabhuji, what about staying so many people in Vrindavan? Vrindavan is a small city,
If you come to Vrindavan, then you will realize. I can't explain now.
Okay.
Come once to Vrindavan.
I have a plan. Fingers crossed, Prabhuji. Fingers crossed.
Okay, any other questions from Vikas?
Yeah, Prabhu. So first question is, can we join that Ayodhya trip? Who are going? Who are these 450 people? And how is the accommodation going to be?
Are from local Palghar district. Few are from Bombay. Few are from Pune, Nasik, like that.
Okay.
So the main challenge would be to find train tickets now. But it's very short.
Now that we can get in Tatkal, right? But yeah, I'm interested actually.
Interested?
Yeah.
But the thing is that you can try, but you can't confirm that whether you will get or not.
Okay, and accommodation, it won't be as we had, right? I think it will be simpler accommodation compared.
Accommodation we had not like that, little simple accommodation.
Yeah. Got it.
So what I am planning next yatra would be Jagannath Puri. That time we'll plan. Okay, the November month. So that time we'll plan.
Other question I had, Prabhuji, was how to control an agitated mind. Okay, in the corporate, when you're working, you can have situations, you can have meetings, and like after a daytime of full day stress, you can end up with a lot of agitation in your mind. Okay, and then as this shloka said in today's lecture, Krishna is advising to move towards Krishna conscious activities. So being at home, you can chant. That is the one activity you can start with. So while chanting also, with an agitated mind, you won't be very focused. Okay, and your mind is very strong. It will try to deviate. It will try to think here and there. The more agitation is there, the more it is difficult to focus on the chanting. Okay, unless you come down to a calm state, you won't be able to focus very strongly. So how to come down from an agitated state to a calm state and focus on the current activity you're doing at that particular moment?
Yeah. So like you do our DT dressing, Sringar of Law. So before DT dressing, there is a puja called Manas Puja. So where we sit in our mind, we chant various mantras and in our mind we try to worship Lord. So while doing Manasa Puja, so the mind become very calm and the mind get habituated that I am going to dress Lord now. And then we start doing dressing physically. Directly we don't enter. So the Manas Puja only takes 15 to 20 minutes. So all the mantras, all the meditation that now I am dressing Lord, now I am doing Achaman, this, that, this. So all these things we are doing just to calm the mind, just to train the mind that now I am going to dress Lord. Similarly, before chanting, also, if you go to any ISKCON temple, they chant Shikshastakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So when you chant this Shikshastakam, automatically your mind get trained and he understand the glories of holy name. That what is this holy name? It's just not a simple name. It's not different than Lord Krishna. And I'm now going to chant the name. So then that's how the mind get trained and then mind become very calm down. And then we start chant the mantras. So in this way, I see different devotee, they have so many personal prayers. They offer prayers to Lord Krishna, Radharani, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and then they start chanting. So basically, at least we can chant the Shikshastakam prayers and can meditate on the meanings of the prayer. That is very important because when you meditate on the meanings, then automatically you prepare your mood and your mind become very stable and very receptive to the holy name. And then you can chant the holy name like that way. That will help you a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Sasi Prakash Prabhu, are you there?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, my internet connection is not proper, so I'm not able to turn on video.
Okay.
So
how are you?
Prabhuji, I have shifted to Bangalore. Bangalore, I have shifted, Prabhuji. Some last week only I shifted.
Okay. How is your chanting going on?
I'm doing Prabhuji 8 round means like I'm doing Prabhuji 8 round. I'm doing completely like last month I was like I was too much busy with some one or other works, so I was not able to wake up early. So that time I was missing. It was not consistent. Sometimes 4 round, 5 round, 8 round. But now I'm very much consistent. 8 round means I have to do. And I will increase Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you. Nice to hear from you. Yes.
And last week I visited this one after coming to Bangalore. I visited Seshadripuram, ISKCON Seshadripuram. I felt very good, Prabhuji. So
wow, you're in Bangalore, Prabhu. You can visit to the ISKCON temple. Now you are not in jungle.
Yes, so Prabhuji. So I was remembering Prabhuji na ki like in Janmashtami how much effort I kept and I came to like ISKCON. So God na called me here when you come to Bangalore. So that's what I'm feeling, Prabhuji.
Krishna sees your sincerity and seeing your sincerity, Krishna did all the arrangement. Now you are near the temple.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm very happy. I visited, I felt very relaxed. That time I visited, no, I was like, so every week I will go, Prabhuji.
Try to increase the mala and now 8 round chanting increase to 12 round
yes,
like that.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji.
Krishna, anybody else want to tell any point or any comment, anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Mataji.
I wanted to say, in relation to what Vishal Prabhuji and Sharat Prabhuji were saying, why is it so fixed that only to get close to Krishna that you have to only chant 16 rounds and all? Like, if 2 hours, like Sharat Prabhuji is saying, he's listening to the Krishna Naam, or like if a person is more inclined to listen to bhajans or kirtan, or so with like if you're just alone at home and you're listening to bhajans for so many hours and you're completely involved in it, or it makes you feel very happy and it makes you feel very I don't know, it's a different feeling.
So why won't that have any effect? I mean, why would you insist that, oh no, all that is okay, but ultimately you have to chant? I mean, why is that such a big importance? Like just now, Vikas Prabhuji was saying, how do I, if your mind is agitated after coming from the work? So since he sings bhajans and all, it's very easy for him to kind of connect for 15 minutes instead of a fixed thing, you have to say these mantras and all, because then it becomes very, it becomes more, you have a tendency to make it more mechanical then, I think, because, when you have this rule number 1, you have to chant this particular mantra. So sometimes you can't connect with that, right? Like you were saying, different people have different prayers which they offer. So whatever makes you connect to the Lord is what should be given more importance. I mean, I don't understand when you say that, 2 hours of actually, if you're really enjoying listening to the Krishna Nam, so it's actually completely reverberating inside you, right? So maybe you're not actually sitting and chanting. Of course, chanting is important. I'm not saying that it is not important, but I just want to know why everything else is not. Everything else is considered okay, you're doing that, that's okay, but are you chanting? And so then it becomes like a competition. Oh, you're doing 8 rounds. Oh, you're doing 16 rounds. Oh, no, 2. So ultimately it becomes like your mind is not in it, but you are just like, oh my God, I have to finish 16 rounds because, I have to attain moksha. So sometimes I feel if you land up doing it out of compulsion, because okay, if I want to attain moksha, I have to do 16 rounds. So then rather than that, if I'm completely being happy in listening to a bhajan, isn't that more effective?
Yes, definitely it is very effective. Whatever is nourishing you in your Krishna conscious journey and taking you close to Lord, that is very important. And I would recommend that you should not give it up and you should practice it. Saying that, like, see, we are normal living entities and we don't have that much of connection with the Lord as the acharyas had, the gurus had, the pure devotees. So, just like we go to school to learn something from the teacher, whatever the teacher explains us, we learn from them. So, similarly, this spirituality is also like it's a kind of a school where there are some few teachers who explains us the process, and there are different processes explained. That whatever, it's not that I'm telling only 16 round chanting you will get go to back to Godhead. There are different schools of thought. Different schools are like different paramparas are there. Vaishnava schools are there. For example, there are Ramanuja Sampradaya is there. The Sri Sampradaya is there. In the South India, if you see they practice and they chant different mantra about Lord Narayana. And they will also go back to God because Ramanuja Acharya told, because he is very dear to Lord Narayan. So whatever a Acharya, they give the rules and regulation to practice because they are very close to Krishna. Krishna has to Vatsala. He is bound by his devotees' love. Similarly, our Vaishnava school of what we are practicing in ISKCON, it's coming in Brahma Sampradaya. And Brahma Sampradaya, our parampara, if you see, the whole parampara, in our parampara, we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like that. So when we all got initiated and when we all got practicing, so our parampara we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and this is called the founder Acharya is Prabhupada, and he is like the Acharya. He is very dear to Lord Krishna. So he gave this mantra that okay, you have to chant Hare Krishna, chant at least 16. It's not at least, you can chant more, but at least chant 16. That will help you to get connected with Krishna very tightly. Apart from that, you can do anything. You can, if you want to like to hear any bhajan, that you can hear, or if you want to do something that you can. But this is the minimum thing that is set by Acharya. Now, I can't say that why Prabhupada did like that, because Prabhupada was the founder Acharya, and he has a connection with Krishna, and he made certain rules that, okay, those who will get initiation, they should at least chant 16 rounds, like that. And if you see the spiritual master of Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur, he had a rule that if I'll tell, then he will be surprised to see. He told that to chant 64 rounds. Can you imagine? The Prabhupada's guru. And when Prabhupada went to Western country, he told us to chant 64 rounds. And all the Westerners, they were thinking, my God, 64 rounds? 8 hours to chant? My God, not possible. And then Prabhupada told, okay, 32 rounds. 32? Not possible. Then Prabhupada, okay, 16, not less than 16. And that's how Prabhupada made the rule. And in ISKCON, we chant 16 rounds, like that.
I have an answer for that, Prabhuji. Maybe people should build a home around Govardhan Hill and they don't have to chant so many rounds.
Shortcut.
Krishna will take you shortcut from the behind the gate.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
one of the lectures of
I would say, I would add one thing. Okay, young people can probably chant 16 rounds in a day, but I would guarantee, I would like to know if somebody can tell me, anybody over.
One thing I will tell, don't think about 16 rounds.
Okay.
Holy name is not different than Krishna. I would tell that chant a quality round and feel the presence of Krishna.
Yeah.
And it's like nectar. If you are taking one gulab jamun, then automatically you will feel to eat 2 gulab jamun, right? So see holy name in that perspective. Don't see that I have to chant 16 rounds, 16 rounds, then it will be like a trauma in your mind. 16 rounds, 16 rounds. So better chant 1 round, but release the holy name and pray to Krishna. And in that 1 round, you will feel such a nourishment, then automatically, in an organic way, you will feel to chant more. So when Rupa Goswami was telling that, when I chant holy name, I feel as if I should have thousands of tongues. That means what? He's feeling some kind of nectar, right? And I feel like I should have 1,000 of years. That means he's feeling that nectar. So that what is our aspiration. So don't make 16 as a kind of a traumatic thing in your mind. So that's why I always tell that chant 1 round. Chant 1 round, but give your full heart emotion in that 1 round. And you will feel the reciprocation of Krishna in that chanting. And then automatically, organically, that will grow. So let it be happen like that. Okay. So chanting in the 1 round also, if Krishna loves you, then Krishna will take back to Godhead. Don't worry.
Prabhuji, also in one of the lectures of other Prabhujis, I did hear that the basic problem in this material world starts with the mind, the man, and to control the man, you need a mantra. And we are talking about is Maha Mantra. And this Maha Mantra, people are actually getting benefit. There are people who are sharing their life experiences that they are even getting out of depression and other mental illnesses because of chanting this Maha Mantra, minimum to minimum 16 rounds. So chanting is the only way in this Kali-yuga, even informed by Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah, in the scripture it is mentioned in Kali Santarana Upanishad, it is written that Iti Sodasakam Namna Kali Kalmashanasanam Nata Parataraupaya Sarva Vedi Sutrishyate. So the Kali Santarana Upanishad, it is a conversation between Brahma and Narada Muni. And in that conversation, this sloka comes that in Kali Yuga, its very practical way is to chant the holy name. Just like in the Satya Yuga, people used to meditate. In Treta Yuga, people used to do yajna. In Dwapara Yuga, people used to do Archa Vigraha Puja. Similarly, in the Kali Yuga, it is prescribed that chant holy name. That is how the mantra meditation is prescribed for this Yuga, Kali Yuga.
Hari Bol.
Okay, shall we end today's class here? So next week again we'll meet on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Okay. So I have tomorrow dressing seva. Now it's late. So and here. Okay. Thank you very much for all your time and patiently you heard the class for your question.
Prabhuji, do share the photos after the
Sorry?
Darshanarti. Do
That's
share
not-
the photos of after Darshanarti.
Okay, no, that's it.
Hare Krishna.
कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव जय जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandadharan. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
For a wonderful class. Hare Hare.